stand. I hope you're doing well. Just making sure I've got no food on my mouth. If you know, you know. And Manchester United have been offered Sergio Reguilón and Thiago confirmed exit from Bayern Munich, as well as a few other things for us to discuss tonight. I hope you're all doing very well this Saturday night, because it is Saturday night, and I do hope that you're all doing very well. Anyway, look, we did a fantastic interview this afternoon with Danny from The Script, lead singer of The Script, big Manchester United fan. One of my favourite interviews I've done, and I've done some really good ones on this channel. So if you've not seen it, check it out. Link in the video description. And he's what I didn't even know that prize. He's given away a signed Paul Scholes shirt in that video, and a very what's the word? Creative way of giving a shirt away. So make sure you check that video out. I thought the interview was fantastic. Let's get into the show. So, well, look. I've got to start off with Sergio Reguilón, and I think that what I need to say about this is that it will develop into a conversation about Luke Shaw as well. And what I would say is, look, you know, if you've got an opinion on something, don't change it because of mob mentality. I mean, I've had so much shtick today about Luke Shaw that nobody would have been talking about a week ago, which to me says there's a hidden agenda against Luke Shaw within our fan base, because nobody's been saying anything negative about Luke Shaw. They've all been keeping their gobs shut. But as soon as we're looking to sign a left back, I hear all the fat comments. He's shit. He's injured. All this bollocks again, and it winds me up about the modern football fan, how flippant they are. Like, the reality is, do we need another left back at Manchester United? Yeah, we probably do, because we've only got one left-footed left back. And you know, would I welcome Sergio Reguilón at Manchester United? Yes, I would. But do I think that Luke Shaw needs replacing? No, I don't. And I don't think it's a priority to replace Luke Shaw. I think it's probably a nice to have somebody who can play left back. But on the transfer itself, he's a very, very good player. There's no question about that. He's a very, very good player. And it's starting to develop into a story, because what I've been saying about this is, I mean, look, there's contrasting things. No bid has been put in by Manchester United for Reguilón. And there are people saying that there has been. There is no bid that's gone in from Manchester United. At best, Manchester United are monitoring this situation. But what Fabrizio Romano has said is that Sergio Reguilón has been offered to Manchester United amongst other clubs. So this again fits in with what we've said before, whereby it looks to me like maybe we're being used. But having said that, I certainly think United are not set, you know, it's not been put out there by United that we're not interested. So I think that, you know, let's just watch how this goes. I think it's going to be a very difficult deal for Manchester United to construct, because I think Real Madrid will be looking for things like buyback clauses or percentage of the next sale. So it's going to be difficult for Manchester United, but I wouldn't, you know, I know a lot of people are getting excited about this deal. I don't feel like it's a week ago with Van der Beek where it was like, bloody hell, this is going to happen. But I do feel that there is something to this story, certainly more than there was with Upamecano at the start of the week, where everyone got really excited and that actually we were never going to do anything about that. Whereas I think with this, United are sort of keeping their eye on it. My indication is that they won't actually follow through, but they might. Stop criticising the Glazers. It will never work. It's the Premier League we need to protest against. They can stop the money taken out of the club, says Jacob is red. And love the interview with Danny. Could you look to Phil Brown again? I think he's a proper interesting bloke with some good points of view, says Joshua Bauer. So I'm sure we can easily get Phil back on the show as well. So Sergio Reguilón offered to Manchester United. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano. Let's see if Manchester United do anything further about that. And of course, you know, people get excited about a player being offered to Manchester United. You would be shocked at the amount of players that we get offered every transfer window. How many agents are ringing us up? It's not like, you know, people think, oh God, we've been offered a player, we must get them. We'll have been offered loads of players this summer, and that doesn't mean that Manchester United will go through with it. And even if we did think about going through with it, Real Madrid might do something stupid, like say we want 35 million. We want a buyback clause where we can buy him back for 30 million. You know, there's all sorts of reasons. So for me, it's the start of something that may never go to something, but it is interesting. Luke Haynes says, I agree with you about a lot and love Shaw, but Reguilón is far superior attacking wise, and I think would bench Shaw. Well, you know, Luke, I've got no problem with people saying that. You know, I personally think Luke Shaw's one of the best left backs in England, and I think he should be England's left back. I've watched him a lot over the last 2 years, and I've seen the distance he covers, the fact that not many people get past him. He's very good in the air. He's positionally very, very good. I'd like to see him getting more assists, but I actually would also argue with you about Sergio Reguilón. I feel like, I know he played against us in the semi-final for Sevilla of the Europa League, but apart from that game, I think the only time some people who are blowing wind up his arse have seen Reguilón play is the only other time I think they've seen him is on an Instagram post with David De Gea this morning. I think it's absolute sensationalist bollocks by a lot of people who I guarantee you have not hardly ever seen this player play. And the reason I jump on this is because to say that he's far superior to Luke Shaw going forward, I'll point to the stats. He's not superior going forward. In fact, it's probably one of the areas he needs to work on, his final ball, because statistically, I think he wasn't even in the top 6 left-backs in La Liga for accuracy from crosses. So, that... I mean, I don't know where Luke Shaw came, and I would guess Luke Shaw's probably not even in the top 10. So it is a slight improvement. But to make out he's Trent Alexander-Arnold or Andy Robertson, this is the thing. This is the thing that worries me about the modern football fan in many ways, because we're going to see it with De Gea, and I think we see it with this Luke Shaw thing, and I think we'd see it if Declan Rice became available with Matic. I think people want the new shiny toy, and they very, very quickly lose faith in something that actually is good. Like David De Gea proved the other night, he's still a very, very, very good goalkeeper. But I guarantee if you ran a poll amongst United fans who should be the starting goalkeeper against Crystal Palace, I would be scared at how high the vote would be for Dean Henderson. Because I think that's what many modern fans do now. They want the new thing. I don't care whether the new thing may not be as good as the thing that we've got. I've had enough of the thing that we've got. Let's try the new thing. Oh, it's not as good as that. Get rid of that. Let's get a new one. And I'm not of that mindset, and I don't apologise for it. And if you want to be of that mindset, that's fine. And maybe the new thing is better than the old thing. But for me, I think for people who perform in a Manchester United shirt, you've got to have a bit of loyalty. And for me, Luke Shaw has performed very well over the last couple of years. I don't see why an injury is a reason to kick him out of the team. I think David De Gea has been a legend at this club over the last 8 years, and I don't see why you'd kick him out of the team for Dean Henderson. And I think I think personally, I just like to see a little bit of loyalty for players that I believe in. It's not about anything lewd or nude pictures or anything like that. It's not. It's just an opinion, and if you've got a different one, that's absolutely fine. And in fact, I embrace it, because that's what this community that we've got is all about. We're not all meant to agree, but I genuinely don't see what Luke Shaw has done wrong to be kicked out of the team, and I don't really agree with David De Gea being kicked out of the team either. So look, maybe my opinion of what things are is old school, old hat. I don't know, but that's just how I feel. I think a little bit of loyalty to these players is I just don't think there is many examples of. Real Madrid did this and they were not successful doing it. The Galactico era, getting rid of players, getting a new toy in. I just don't think it's the way to go. Mark, you can't say like Shaw isn't injury prone. He can be a great player, but if he's hurt, he can't play. Well, this is the biggest myth of all. We're turning into the Luke Shaw show now. He's not injury prone. It's absolute bollocks. He's not injury prone. He got injured at the end of the season. When was he injured before that? Was he injured between Christmas and the end of the season? No. Did McTominay get injured this season? Yes, he did. Has Pogba been injured for significant periods of times over the last couple of years? Yes. Has Martial had injuries? Yes. Are we calling them injury prone? No. I don't agree with that. Hi Mark, I've had an amazing day today. Seeing Giggsy and Bale today and the rest of the Welsh team. Bale is a top man and just wanted to say come on United and come on next season. Really excited, says Chris Bees. Good to see you're excited. And but we do, I've got to say, if we buy Reguilon, I trust Ollie. And what I would say about it is there is absolutely no way that if we buy Reguilon, Luke Shaw's not going to be a first-team player. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer loves Luke Shaw. Like, he absolutely loves Luke Shaw. Whether he's a left-back or a left-sided centre-back or a left-sided centre-back in a back five, he will play for United anyway. So I'd be very happy if we bought Reguilon in, because I do not trust Brandon Williams as a backup left-back. I don't think he is a left-back. So I would be happy if United did it. My only reservation really is he's a quality player at a decent price. But But I think the priority is the left-sided centre-back, and I don't know what we're doing about that. The problem with football fans these days is the mob mentality to throw players like in the beginning, then troll abuse them to get another player, says Daniel Lechman. And has the Thiago transfer saga started, as stated by Romano, says Rohit. And Man City to sign Mbappe, says The Times. That has to be the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Ollie out, Pep in, says Morgan. Okay. So, yeah, the Thiago story is interesting because Fabrizio Romano has said that the Thiago, and Xander was talking about it this morning, the Xander transfer saga, the Thiago transfer saga has started. When Havertz is finished, he says the Thiago saga starts now. Now, Thiago this morning, speaking ahead of Spain's game against Ukraine tomorrow, has said that I'm always being spoken about going, I've not said anything to anyone about leaving. Christian Falk has come out and said Thiago has said that he's leaving, and he's told his teammates that he's going, and he's said his goodbyes. So Christian Falk effectively is saying what Thiago's saying isn't true, and therefore Thiago has said his goodbyes. So where is Thiago going? Because he's definitely going next week. Where is he going? And it will be next week, because I think he's going to Liverpool, and Liverpool have got a game in the Premier League a week today. So I think Thiago comes out of Spanish duty and goes straight to Liverpool and signs for them. That's what I think is going to happen. But, that you never know. There has always been a slim chance that Manchester United could do something about this. And the constant rumour around Thiago, and I think Fabrizio Romano has said it himself, is that United have not contacted Bayern Munich about Thiago. However, Christian Falk has said previously that there has been discussions, but I wonder if contact means a bid. Whatever you want to say, Liverpool are favourites to sign Thiago. He is going to move next week, and United are around the edge. Now, I think United are around the edge if Liverpool pull out, just like they did pull out with Werner, and Chelsea jumped in. So I'd say he's going to Liverpool, but you just don't know. There might be a chance there. Shaw is our best left back, says Ash, but we could certainly improve there. Not saying Reguilon is the answer, but I don't think Shaw is the best solution either. You yourself said we need a left-footed left-back for backup. What harm can a loan deal? Can we look at the positive side that this could bring? Says Jarrett Edwards. I don't think anybody's mentioned Reguilon as a loan deal. And Luke Shaw needs backup, not replacing. Sick of this debate about Shaw. He's class, says Gary Smith. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a few things I want to talk about tonight, and I think a lot of these things are very important. But one thing that frustrates me is agenda. I don't like agenda. So Jan Argafjortoft has tweeted about Sancho. So this is quite interesting. Well-connected Norwegian journalist writes that Solskjaer has talked to Sancho many times, that Sancho wants to leave, and that Solskjaer has told Woodward would fix it. Which is a dangerous thing. But it's interesting that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has talked to Jadon Sancho many times, if this is true, because obviously, well, look, I don't know that Solskjaer has spoken to Sancho. I know United have spoken to Sancho, and I know how advanced this deal is, and I know that it's not there yet. So this is an interesting development on the story, and it's Jan Argafjortoft who's tweeting it, and effectively he's talking about Fredrik and Fieldvet, who I do follow on Twitter. Now, he's an interesting person because he's also spoken about our interest in Thiago. But what he's saying is, small update on Sancho. Solskjaer has talked to him several times. Sancho tops the club's wish list and even wants a transfer to United. Solskjaer's simple message to Woodward is fix it. And I think that's, is that an update? I mean, in a sense it is, because it is an update because it just gives you a little bit of an insight into, Solskjaer wanting this deal to get done. But I don't really think it's anything new if you've been watching the show and taking in the people who are confident that Sancho will come to United, like myself. Because I know that Jadon Sancho wants to come to Manchester United, and I know that Manchester United, he is their priority, top of the wish list, whatever. And I know that United can't back out. So it's about when, not if. And that to me shows how hands-on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got this summer. He got hands-on with Van der Beek. He rang him up. I think he's done the same with Jadon Sancho. He's apparently spoken to Thiago as well. And we were talking about this afternoon with Danny, and I've said it a few times as well. I don't think that Jose Mourinho and Van Gaal, when they went away at the end of the season, were going up phoning players. I think they were expecting United to do it, But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is one of those managers, a bit like Sir Alex Ferguson was, who actually does want to get hands-on to make sure these deals get done. Van der Beek referenced Ollie as a big decider. And I think Sancho's obviously had those conversations with Ollie as well. So that's only a good thing. I mean, look, we're working towards this Sancho deal. And I mean, nothing's going to happen before Tuesday. I watched him play for England today. He played quite well without being groundbreaking. And that's probably not a bad thing, because do you want him to be groundbreaking and scoring a hat-trick? But it will happen. Let's all stop blaming our girlfriends and wives and admit we all like the script, says Dazo W. And welcome to the members club, Shavram Shrimvansa. Adam Jannings says, if that guy is telling the truth with his super chat, it proves my super chat earlier this week. Solskjaer is having to get hands on. Board is dreadful. That was from Adam Jenkins. Mark, I don't think left back is as important as left centre back. Brandon's weaknesses can be nullified by a good left centre back, says John Keats. Mark loves Shaw and don't want him out, but we have 1 left back and 7 centre backs, not good ones, but we still have 7, so left back more important to me, says Sean from Ireland. Shaw was injured near the beginning of the season. Young and Williams played in the end of last season and we dropped off hard. I rate Shaw highly, but he does get injured. He played 24 Premier League games this season, 29 last season, says Cross XFIR3. A left-sided centre-back and Sancho have to be the priority. Anyone else after that is a bonus. Woodward needs to get the chequebook out and sign these players, says Vincent McDonnell. And why has United still kept Bailly and Phil Jones? Bailly is seriously injury prone and Phil Jones as well, says Anish Pal, which I wouldn't disagree with you on that one. I don't think many other people would either. But yeah, the little bit of update on Jadon Sancho tonight then is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is telling Woodward to fix it and get it over the line. Sancho wants to come to United. And, of course, United's priority is Sancho, which, there's not really an update in that story, if I'm totally honest with you. So I'm glad it's not huge sort of excitement and news around it. But Jan Argefjortoft has tweeted again, and he will always do this. He's very loyal to Dortmund. He said, Dortmund are very clear. They don't want to sell him. Put a 10th of August deadline for any bid. Interesting that Manchester United still haven't given up. Well, that's... There's an air of irrelevance to what Jan is treating there. And I like Jan. He's been on the show. And he's only, in fairness, he's only reiterating the truth. But the 10th of August deadline was a fake deadline. They do want to keep Sancho. But the most important thing is, and thank you for Tony Bain and for the super chat. The most important thing about Dortmund wanting to keep Jadon Sancho is that Dortmund have agreed with Jadon Sancho that if a certain fee is paid, they will let him go. Because that's what Dortmund is. It's a selling club. And people can defend Dortmund, and Dortmund fans can troll me on Twitter as much as they like, and they do, but you are a selling club. That is what you are. I was going to do it in a German accent, but that would be totally wrong. That is what, imagine it, that is what you are. You are a selling club. You're a good club. A lot of people like Dortmund, but you are a selling club. And you're very, very good at it. And you'll get very, very good money like you have for many other players. And that is the thing here. Dortmund cannot say to Jadon Sancho, when that bid comes in, we're not going to let you go. Because Sancho, quite rightly, will say, whoa, since when did you become a club that doesn't sell talent that develops at your club? That's what you are. That's why I came here. That's why Jude Bellingham came here. That's why loads of players come here young to develop and then move on. I want to move on. This is where I want to go. They've paid the fair price. See you later. And that's what happened. So Jan Argefjortoft's not wrong. Dortmund don't want to sell. And they've been very clear about that. And they've put deadlines in. But Manchester United are not worried about that deadline, because even if it takes to October the 5th, which would be a disgrace, by the way, this needs to happen before the Crystal Palace game so that you can be part of that team. We lost 3 points to Palace at home last season. We cannot not have our team ready for that Palace game. And Sancho needs to be in it. But United know that if they give that money to Dortmund, they will say to Sancho, do you want to go? And he will go. Hi Mark, great show as always. Thoughts on playing Shaw as a left centre-back if we sign Reguilon and not a left-sided centre-back? I think Luke Shaw can play that position, Stephen. I think he can play that position. But I do like Luke Shaw as a left-back. We should let Rojo, Jones, Mata go for free and get them out of the club. Wages alone would be a good save, says Robert Thompson. I think in the case of... certainly in the case of Rojo and Jones, I think they more or less will move on for free. I think that their value is so little that I think United would be of a mind that, it's about cutting your losses. So I can sort of see that's going to happen, if I'm honest with you. But, United have got to do something around players leaving the club, and I think it's quite interesting. And just to stick with Sancho for a minute, somebody was I did the England watch along on That's Football today, and I'm sure some of you tuned in for it, and somebody said, Gary Neville said he'd rather have Harry Kane over Jadon Sancho, and I was like, well look, if he said that, I don't really understand that. But actually, having read what he said that fans I speak to are saying we're not desperate about signing Sancho, it's about the calibre of player that we need. And Harry Kane, for example, would be a player that would improve Manchester United and is the calibre of player that we're looking at. So I don't think Gary Neville was saying that Manchester United should get Kane instead of Sancho. What he was saying is it doesn't have to be Sancho, but it's the calibre, and Sancho fits the calibre of player we need. But it's not about Sancho, it's about United bringing in that calibre of player. And to a certain extent, I do agree with him, because that's the calibre of player we need to bring in. But on the other hand, I don't know what you think. I actually think, name me a player that is more suitable for Manchester United, of the right calibre, than Jadon Sancho this summer. I can't think of anybody who is available this summer at the right price of the calibre that we need. So effectively, Jadon Sancho is the player. It's not about the calibre of player. Jadon Sancho is that player because he's available for around 100 million. Harry Kane's 150, and we don't need a 150 million pound striker. We don't. You could get a Jimenez. I'd be quite happy with that. Timo Werner, I'd have been happy with that. 50 million. We don't need a Harry Kane. We don't need Harry Kane at that value, at that price. So Jadon Sancho is the player. He's the right player in the right position, and it's frightening what United can achieve when we get Sancho, because Greenwood at 18 looks absolutely physique brilliant, talent brilliant. What's he going to be like in a couple of years? Rashford, I think Rashford's going to have a big season. Martial, what a season he had. Sancho, quality. Pogba, Bruno, Van der Beek, Matic, quality. Apart from Upamecano, who do you think we are targeting for centre-back, Mark? Can't see any backup options. Who do you think we should target? Great show. It's a Sack and Dio. I quite liked the idea of a Badiashile. I'm not totally all in on Pau Torres, if I'm honest with you. I don't know who we're looking at as a centre-back. To be honest with you, at this moment in time, it feels to me like the deal United are looking at is probably Reguilon. And it's surprising because I think United have changed their course in the last few days. I don't think, as I said a couple of days ago, I felt United were going to do something big this weekend again. Not Sancho big, but they were going to buy somebody this weekend. Well, they're clearly not, because Reguilon is with the Spanish national squad. Thiago is with the Spanish national squad. And we've retracted from Badiashile. And Torres is with the Spanish national squad. So I can't see who United are looking at the moment that we could actually really do this weekend. So it's pushing into back end of next week again, isn't it? And that's the time that we're meant to be moving forward with Sancho. So it's getting a bit bunched up for United. It is getting a bit bunched up for United. When you look at the amount of deals that Chelsea have done, and they're apparently going to go for a goalkeeper now, and their season starts next week, and they're well set. And United have bought Van der Beek in, and we're like, right, what else are we doing? And at the moment, I would say Sancho's still coming, 90% sure. And at the moment, the only other deal I would say that I'm really thinking we're looking at may well be Reguilon and a slim chance of Thiago. Beyond those three, I don't know what we're doing. I've been thinking about this for a while, says Santino. Do you think if Prime, Rio and Vidic were in our team, we would win the league? Love the show always. Yeah, I do. I think that if you added Vidic and Rio to this team with Matic ahead of them, and Bruno and Pogba and Martial and De Gea in goal, And I think Wan-Bissaka had a bad end to the season, but I thought he was brilliant for 3/4 of the season. I think Luke Shaw's a steady left back as well. I think we probably would win the league, yeah. We'd certainly be up there. Do you think that Martial is better than Suarez? Says Harrison Dunn. I think they're very different strikers, to be honest. Do you think Reguilon will be a regular starter? Says Magic Eye. I like what you've done there. Welcome to the Members Club, Standog Gaming. Really appreciate it. And what do you think of young Ben White? Says Steve Atherton. I don't think he's a Manchester United player for me. That's just my opinion. We've done the Sancho update by Jan Arge Fjortoft. Please tune in on time, and you would be fully aware of what those updates are and where we are at in relation to them. But if you are a little bit late, Jan Arge Fjortoft has basically said that Dortmund don't want to sell Sancho, and that it's going to be interesting to see what Manchester United do from here. But that Manchester United are obviously very confident that they can get him, and that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is trying to force United to get on with it. But there is only one answer to that, and it's basically like Dortmund have already said to Sancho, if the fee they want is paid, they'll let him go. Whether they want him to or not, they will honour that. So that's the most important thing there. Welcome to the Midge, latest member of the United Stand Members Club, and are we getting Sancho? Says Frankie. I mean, look, let me just do this for a minute. Are we getting Sancho? Yes or no? It's a fan channel, of course. It's a fan community. Are we getting Sancho? Yes or no? You know what I think. You know what I think on that. I think he's definitely coming in, but I'm just interested to see what you all think about it, because I can only keep saying what I believe to be true, and yeah. Jarrett Edwards, how does the quarantine rules affect our transfers? Would Sancho and other transfers have to quarantine? I don't think he does. Jarrett. And hi Mark, what is your Man United dream team, and why do people hate Martial so much? I love him. Says Standog Gaming. I think Martial sort of falls into the same category. And I'd say about 70% are saying, well, 60% are saying yes, 40%, 30% are saying no, and maybe for 10%. Aren't you worried that the longer we drag this Sancho deal out, the more Dortmund won't have time to replace him, says Dominic Hins? No. And Martial on the bench again for France. Giroud starting. Same with Griezmann. He's better than both. I don't like Deschamps. He's clueless, says Marius Larson. He always picks Deschamps. He always picks Giroud. He would pick himself if he could do as well. But look, the thing about the Sancho thing is that he was never going to sign before Wednesday anyway. He's been with England for the last week, so as soon as we hit September, it could never happen until after Wednesday anyway. Shouldn't the club concentrate on getting Deadwood out at the moment? None of them are involved with the national team. That is still progress, says Sharanga Doli. Actually, this is a big problem for Manchester United. They can't remove the Deadwood from the team. It is a big problem. They want to do it, but they can't do it, because it's all right saying I want to sell Phil Jones, I want to sell Marcus Rojo, but who wants to buy those players? They're on decent wages. Who wants to buy those players in a financial crisis? So Manchester United have got a lot of Deadwood. And if you're, the horrible thing for Ollie is, if you go into next season and you can't even loan out Phil Jones and Marcus Rojo, and you're like, oh my God, I've got a Carabao Cup game and I've got to play those two. It's like you're being forced to do something you don't want to do. But the situation is difficult, and we can wax lyrical about many different players that need to leave United. Delo needs to go. Rojo needs to go. Jones needs to go. Smalling will go. One or maybe two of Pereira, Mata or Lingard need to go. So there are 6 players that need to go that are still at Manchester United, but I'm not totally panicked about that, because I do think that these things will happen towards the back end of the transfer window. Remember, I think a lot of people are thinking that the transfer window sort of closes next Friday because Premier League starts on Saturday. I can't believe how close it is. I'm so excited. But it doesn't close then. And West Ham, they might not have a lot of money, but they might quite fancy a Jesse Lingard or a Phil Jones. There might not be a lot of money in Europe, but somebody might fancy a 12 million Andreas Pereira. Somebody might fancy a Juan Mata on a free, but they'll pay his wages. Somebody might fancy a Marcus Rojo. So there are opportunities for Manchester United to move these players on, and they're definitely trying to move them on. They're definitely trying to move them on. And you know, on Chris Smalling, let me just say, you know, there is a player that deserves respect, because I've always liked Chris Smalling. I think it's time for him to go, but I've always liked Chris Smalling, and what I really liked about Chris Smalling, and I don't think he gets anywhere near enough credit, and you know, I watched England play today. I don't know why Chris Smalling's not in the England squad. I do not know why he's not in the England squad. Eric Dyer playing at centre-back for friggin' England. I mean, I like Joe Gomez, but Eric Dyer playing at centre-back. Tyrone Mings on the bench. Michael Keane on the bench. I mean, Chris Smalling is better than these players. Chris Smalling went to... I've got a lot of time for Chris Smalling. I've got a lot of respect for him as well. Because he didn't want to stay at United and be a backup substitute. He wanted to play first team football. He went to a foreign country, Italy, a very, very well-disciplined league that's got a great reputation of having some of the best defenders in the world, and always has had. You know, Manolas, Koulibaly, Skriniar, all the Italian ones. I can't think of any. Roglignelli, and all, you know. And over the years, the Nestas, the Bareses, the Costa Curtas. Smalling goes to Roma. He doesn't go to bloody Brescia. He goes to Roma, one of the better clubs in Italy, and basically performs as one of the best centre-backs in that league. And he can't get in the England squad. It's a joke. It's a joke. And he's done fantastically well. I've hardly seen any press about Chris Smalling at all. An English player in Rome doing a great job. Hardly seen any credit for it at all. From a Man United point of view, I don't want him to stay at Manchester United, but I think what he's done is he's put himself in the shop window to such an extent that he is actually Roma's top priority this transfer window. And they want to pay around 15 million quid for him. And I think, well, you know what? Well done, Chris Smalling. Well done, Chris Smalling. So we will get money for him because he wants to go. With only Sancho in after Van der Beek, how do you think we will play? High press, quick counter, or possession football? Or will we play part of the bus and counter against the top 7 again? These are big questions, Aditya. These are big questions that I'm excited to see what we do. I'm scared of wearing the zebra kit. I might get mistaken for an actual zebra, get captured and thrown into a zoo. By the way, can you sing Hall of Fame? Marcus Rashford will be the best left winger in the world. Standing in the Hall of Fame. There you go. And the world's gonna know your name. It's a good song. Buy the script. Watch my interview with it. Think Kembembe would be a great addition to our side, left-footed, fast and good in the air, or could we not buy Koulibaly in instalments, says Toby Walters. Well, I upset Man City fans last night because I said, if Man City are buying a 29-year-old Koulibaly for 70 million, jog on. And then I had a Man City fan with a tweet of mine from January 2019, 18 months ago. You've got £100 million to spend, what would you spend it on? And I said Koulibaly. 18 months ago. I wouldn't spend 70 million on Koulibaly now. I wouldn't. I don't think he's worth it. Jenks1102, you are beautiful, Mark, but should we lower expectations? Chelsea have spent big. Arsenal will be back. Wolves are strong. Fourth next season will be good. No. No. Where's my glasses? No. 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 I will not bury another I will not bury another Batman. She was only 17 years old. I will not bury another Batman. My Michael Caine thing's gone. But no, I told you. No, I sound like Harry Enfield. I told you, only blow the bloody doors off. Terrible, absolutely terrible. But no. Fourth next season will not be good, Jenks. It will not be good because it might actually be interpretable as what we can achieve this season, but fourth, third, second is never enough for Manchester United. It's not. It is never enough. It might be realistic. It might be realistic to the situation inflicted on us by the owners, but second, third, fourth is never good enough for Manchester United. We should be first. We should always be demanding that we're first. It's not greed. It's not delusion. It's where Manchester United should be. What did you think of Sancho's performance for England today, Mark? Says Simon Bowman. I think in the first half, he's the one player who makes things happen. He always seems to retain the ball. He's quick and slow. He can get past the player. He can say it. I just think he's going to be a revelation in the Premier League. I really do. I think international football is a lot slower, a lot more technical than than club football. I think he's going to be fantastic in the Premier League. Mark, what do you think of Sanchez saying he wanted to leave United on the first day he came here? I just think he's a prat. I think he's an absolute prat. And third, and some trophies would be good, to be honest, is Alec Williams. No! I'm not having any of this. I'm not having this. Your expectations are awful. They're absolutely awful. Your expectations are awful. If you're a United fan sat here before a ball's been kicked saying third and a good cup run would be good. Oh, it's like, oh, and if we get a few sunny days in April, that'll be even better. I like watching it when it's sunny. We're Manchester United. Third in a trophy is not good enough. No Manchester United fan should ever say that. Now, it may be realistic, but we've got to be better. We've got to be better. I mean, if Sancho comes in, you've got Sancho, Martial, Greenwood, Rashford as your attacking options before you have to go anywhere near Reguilon or James. In your midfield, you've got Van der Beek, Matic, Bruno, Pogba, Fred. Before you go anywhere near like Pereira, Lingard or McTominay, you've got quality and depth there. So Manchester United should be we should be getting 20 more points than we got last season just because we're not going to lose to Watford, Bournemouth and all the other shit we lost to. What we do against the top four is going to be interesting, but United should be looking at 75 points next season. I tell you what, that's a very, very good point. That's a very, very good point. We shouldn't be looking about settling for third or fourth. Manchester United should be looking at points, and I think Solskjaer will look at points. We should be aiming to get 75, at minimum of 75 points next season. Hopefully 80, but 75 points next season. That's only 11 more points than what we've got now. And you look at all the points we dropped. Crystal Palace at home, Bournemouth away, Newcastle away, Watford away, Aston Villa at home, Everton at home, Burnley at home. You know, we dropped so many points last season, and it's not unreasonable to say let's get 80 points, but let's certainly not get anything less than 75. So I would do it as a points thing. And a lot of people are saying we've got to get 80 points, and I think that is the thing for this season. It's not about where we're going to finish, it's about points. And if we get 80 points and we come fifth, then I think we'd all say, wow, that's unlucky. But if we get 80 points, you'd be saying, right, if we get 80 points, we've got to be at least 10, 15 points off a title. Because I don't think Liverpool will get 100 points or City this year. So if we can get 80 points, we're 10, 15 points off the title instead of 30-something points. That's what United have got to be. 75 to 80 points this year. That's what I'm looking at. So, and I think that's totally something that Solskjaer should be saying to his team when he gets them together next week. He should be saying, look, a lot went wrong last season. A lot went right when Bruno came in, but a lot went wrong, and we still got 65 points. This season, I want 75 minimum. We're going for 80 plus. So that's how you do it. 100 bloody hell. David McMahon says 100 points minimum next season. We'll see about that. David. And Mark, shouldn't we be working on player exits while our targets are busy with international games? Despite Van der Beek and the impending Sancho deal, our transfer business is still frustratingly lethargic. What if the trophy is the Champions League, says Alec Williams. And I honestly think United's goal should be a second place finish and a cup, since winning the league is almost impossible at this time. Well, look, I was asked this afternoon, and I don't know how you are going to react to this. I know how bitter rivals will react to this, but as a dark horse for the Champions League, why would we not be a dark horse? I'm not going to put the pressure on it. I've already said that, to me, we've just got to get to the quarterfinals. If we get to the quarterfinals, I think we've done what I would say is an expectation. And then anything beyond that is a bonus. So I think, we've got to be getting out of our group, and we've got to win the first qualifying game. And then you get to the quarterfinals, and anything from there is a bonus. But I think the Champions League is hard to predict. It's really hard to predict. And I think because it's a cup competition, you can produce a shock. You can be a dark horse. I mean, look, Ajax went to a semi-final. They should have been in a final. Spurs beat them in the last minute. RB Leipzig and Lyon were semi-finalists this year. Fair play, Bayern and PSG were better, but they were still semi-finalists. We've got Pogba, Bruno, Van der Beek, Matic. We've got Rashford, Greenwood, Martial, and probably Sancho. why would we not be able to beat a lot of teams in Europe? So we could be a dark horse for the Champions League. It's unlikely, but I would agree we've got more chance of winning the Champions League than we have of winning the Premier League, which sounds odd, but I think it's true. I do. So we'll see what happens. United can try for Tagliafico, says Anian. We could do, because I think Leicester have bought an Atalanta left back, as far as I recall. And we've got a good relationship with Ajax. And I think Tagliafico would be a very good left back to bring in, because he's about 27. So it would be interesting. Mark Yornbridge. I had a few beers last night. I've been very busy today. And yeah, I'm just a bit tired. Brendan thinks we can win the league. It's the hope that kills you. Can we please put some respect on Luke Shaw's name without him on the left? Rashford is suffering, says XMR. I agree. And the undisputed Mark Goldbridge. I don't hate Shaw, but I think he's average though. Please shout out Omel Art, YouTube for beautiful arts and painting. Thanks, says the special one. And Aditya says, I want United to buy Sancho and Thiago. That would win as silverware. We will finish third, get semi-finals of the Champions League and win the FA Cup, says Alec Williams. Oh, bloody hell. Sorry, I didn't think it was going to make that much noise. That really did get up the nostrils, so to speak. Do we get Sancho this transfer window, says Pete Gamer? Yes. Yeah. It's funny, actually, because somebody said to me today, if United don't sign Sancho, your reaction to it is going to be the most viewed video in United stand history. And I was like, I thought about it and I thought, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I will absolutely go batshit crazy if we do not get Sancho. I will go mad. Absolutely mad. But on the flip side of the coin, when we do sign Sancho, I'm going to go mad anyway, because I have had to sit back for 6 weeks with some of you who I will take it with a pinch of salt with United fans, because I think it's just, you're panicking. But I've had it from Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, City fans, Liverpool fans, different fans. You're not getting Sancho. Ha ha, hold the L. There's somebody on Twitter who, and whatever I tweet about, I could tweet, I'm not feeling good today, I'm having a bad mental health day. They'll still say, David Brooks is on his way. Every tweet they're talking to me about David Brooks. So I will absolutely love it when we sign him. And yeah, if it didn't happen, which I don't think that's going to happen, I will not be very happy. But if we do, when we do sign him, I will go absolutely batshit happy as well. So I can't wait. You woke up my family, says Kendall. Sorry. And we will finish. Yeah, I've done that one. Dwight McNeil, if United fail to get Sancho, that not the kind of news I want to wake up to. Mr. Goldbridge, greetings from Germany, says ATAL. And also Dortmund fans. There's bloody loads of Dortmund fans. I don't even speak German. I have to use translate tweet. They're there bantering me. They shouldn't even know who I am. They should not even know who I am. But yeah, I look forward to it happening. And all I can say to you is that it makes no sense for me, with the community that we've built and the size of the channel. It makes absolutely no sense for me to sit here going, yeah, we're going to sign him, in the back of my head going, I've got no idea. I really hope we do, because I'm saying it to 18,000 people. But I've said this to you for a long, long time. I'm 90% sure we're going to do this deal. I'm totally confident that he's going to sign for United. And I wouldn't say that on a whim. I am totally confident it's going to happen. And that itch is not because I'm lying. I actually have an itch. United is very slow in transfers, says Venkat. I know. We always have been. It is frustrating. It is very frustrating. But we are. Have you got shares in Hugo Boss? It's a nice jumper, says Damien. I wish I did. Look, if Hugo Boss want to sponsor us as well and do like 40% off like Boohoo Man, that would be great. And you are spot on, Mark. It is easier to win the Champions League than winning the Premier League. After all, Liverpool won the Champions League before winning the Premier League, says Anthony Johnson. Good thought. Well made. They are on the Schissenhausen if Sancho leaves, says Alec Williams. And yeah, Dwight McNeil's a good player, by the way, but he's a left-sided player, isn't he? I like Dwight McNeil. I wouldn't mind him at Manchester United. I think he's good. I'll feel bad for Mark, mate. I've seen United lose to Burnley at home. I've seen United lose to Sevilla in the Europa League when we should have won. I'm more than capable of dealing with a setback. Basically, it tends to be with the setbacks for me will just be venting pure frustration. So, but I don't see that happening with Jadon. I don't see it happening at all. I've never laughed so much in a live before. You're on a roll today, mate. Also, when we get Sancho, have you just imagined how filthy our attack will be? Bruno is the beginning of the rebuild, maybe, says Omar. I don't know what it was that made you laugh, Omar. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Thanks for the contribution, Galloway. Thanks to everyone who's become a member tonight, by the way. I know I keep saying it, but we do always intend for our content to be free, which it is. So if you become a member and support the channel and get a badge, it helps us. I mean, we are doing... I mean, look, who knows? Stay safe, stay well, everybody, because the infection rate in Spain and France for COVID is going through the roof, and it just makes you think we've had this before, where it's been very, very big in 2 countries, and then we get it. So football's about to come back next week. Everyone's trying to get their lives back on track. So hopefully that will stay the case. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep staying safe. Keep staying well, and social distancing, washing your hands and scrub your toes, as Liam Gallagher says. But no, in seriousness, we had a pub in Dublin ready in March for a United Stand meetup. We did London this time last year. It was great, and we want to do loads of these things. But Danny from the script says he'll come and do some songs with the script, so they'll be there. I'm joking. He probably would. But so yeah, we've got all these things planned, and they're free events. They're not, we're not going to charge you for tickets. It will be, this is the pub. There will be tickets, but there'll be free tickets for the first 500. So everyone who's a member and just super chats, this is what it all goes into. So thanks for all your support. That's really, really important. Hi Mark, can you say hello to Harry Knowles? He loves your show, says Ando. Hello Harry Knowles. Thank you very much. And thank you for making me worry a little bit less about the Sancho deal, says We Are United 1999. I just don't think it's worth worrying about. I think it's a very important statement, symbolic signing, an essential signing, and everything like that. It is a big deal. I understand why people are emotional. I understand why people are panicky. I understand why people are getting anxious about it. But I'm not. I'm totally confident. And that's the genuine truth. I am. So if that makes any of you feel calmer, the reality is, you can say we should have done it by now, and I do agree with that. But for me, after that initial rush in August, where it felt like it was going to happen in a couple of days, it became very, very clear that Manchester United Football Club were really pissed off. They were really pissed off with the media and others at the start of August about how it was being reported that this deal was close, because in their mind it was never meant to happen in August. I feel it was always meant to happen around mid-September, and he can't sign for us before Wednesday, which is Wednesday's the 10th, is it? Something like that, 7th, 8th, 9th or 10th. So you can't, because he's playing for England and they're both away games. So, considering we're not in for Badashiel or Upamecano, who should United be trying to get for centre-back? Hi from South Africa, says Jethro. I don't know, Jethro. It's like if I said to you, who should we get for centre defensive midfielder? I think United are operating to a budget. And I think United have got 30 million. And, well, look, I could get really negative here, but I'm going to hold back, because we could have got Gabriel for 25 million. We could have gone in for Gabriel and got him for 25 million. He's a left-footed, left-sided centre-back, and he's 22, 23. Arsenal have bought him. He's exactly what we needed. So if we don't have anybody else to bring in, why the hell didn't we do that deal? So it is a priority position. Who is it we're looking to bring in as a centre-back? Because we do bloody well need one, but at this time, it's hard to know who. Do you know something about the Sancho deal that we don't? Your confidence is reassuring, but I'm worried it might go to the same as last year with Bruno, says Joe and Daniel. There is no comparison to Bruno Fernandes last summer and this. With Bruno Fernandes, I said in March before last summer, not this summer, so not this March just gone, the year before, I was told by a very good source who's been very good, and it's been very good since then, that United's targets for last summer were Jadon Sancho, Bruno Fernandes and Thomas Meunier. We bought none. So people would say, well, that source is a twat or a prat. We didn't get any. But actually, they were spot on. We did want Jadon Sancho last summer, but Dortmund said no, he's not happening. Never going to happen. So we had to not get him, and we went for Dan James as a sort of long-term project. We were going for Thomas Meunier, and we were going for Thomas Meunier into May, and then Wan-Bissaka became available, and we went for Wan-Bissaka. And Bruno, we were in for Bruno. We just messed it up. So that source was what I was told. And that's why I kept saying we're going to get Bruno. But that was just one source. Jadon Sancho, you can't move for sauce. You know, it's like being at an Indian restaurant when they bring the tray of sauces out. There's so many to choose from. You know, you've got chutney, the white one, whatever. You know, there's so many sauces to choose. You've got Fabrizio Romano, Christian Falk, The Guardian, The Times, the Manchester Evening News. Everybody knows that Manchester United are knee deep in a Jadon Sancho deal. So it's a very different thing to Bruno, because actually last summer most of the media was saying no, it's not going to happen. So very, very different. Been home with COVID all week. One more week of quarantine to go. Love the community here. It's made staying home sick a lot less. Staying home suck a lot less, says Craig Calamy. That's great. Well, look, thanks everyone for watching. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. And what I would say is, make sure you check out the interview I did this afternoon with Danny from The Script. This is a guy who Sir Alex Ferguson had play at his 25th anniversary. Sir Alex Ferguson loves The Script. He tells the story of that. There's a signed Paul Scholes shirt he's given away on there. Top United fan, top opinions, really enjoyable. Make sure you check it out, especially on a Saturday night. Perfect viewing. Links in the video description, or you can go through the homepage. But I'm telling you now, you'll be disappointed if you don't watch it. It's one of the best interviews I've done. Really enjoyed it, and really, really interesting. So thanks everyone for watching. Talking some topical stuff on there as well about Sancho and Thiago as well. So speak to you all soon. Back in the morning, unless something happens tonight, but I don't think it will. But check out that interview. Very, very good. I'll speak to you soon.